What is up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is David Hamlin, aka the Laptop Legend, and I tried to warn you guys yesterday about this TSMP dip buy. You can see here, I was ready for it, and if you were too, you should have been beasting and feasting, man. I brought out the fork, I brought out the knife. Luckily, I didn't spill on myself this time, but I literally bought the dip. This is Polynesian sauce from Chick-fil-A, just to give you a visualization of what I did. But I bought that dip and I bought it hard, and it was a great trade. And then I gave back all those profits and more trying to dip buy another stock that is the wrong type of stock to be dip buying. And I want to talk about why in this video, as well as what stocks you guys should be watching for tomorrow, because we've got some good ones. Today was a little bit more choppy, but MITI is going crazy. TSMP, we got the call tomorrow, an hour after market close, so I'm really interested to see what TSMP is going to be doing. And then there's some other stocks that have been popping off, so come along with me for the ride and let's talk stocks. All right, guys, so I'm here on my computer, and you can see today I realized negative $46 in profits, which is a little bit frustrating because I started off the day really well. I started off 58 profit on this one, and then I started off, I think, profitable on GNE by like $10 or something like that. So, I mean, it was going decently well, again, for the small trades that I'm doing. And then I gave away some of the profits on GNE, and then I had these nasty trades on ADTX. So I'm going to go through those, but this is what we're looking for on TSMP, man. We had that beautiful morning panic, and I got in right at the bottom here, and I was super conservative. I took a very small position today. I only took 5,000 shares because I had very limited buying power. I wish I had gotten more because that was my best trade of the day. But even with those 5,000 shares, and I sold like, I think right here, I only took like $1.50 per share, maybe a little bit more than that. And, you know, I still got $58 on that one. So I'll take it, man. I will take it. Definitely underestimated a little bit. It was a little bit choppy up in here, but for the most part, it was straight green up, and then it came right back down. I was watching some other stocks at this point, so I missed this second bounce. But I mean, it literally did the same thing. It double topped, it panicked, and then off of that, there was a nice bounce off the panic. So you could have bought that one as well. I honestly, this might have been a little bit harder because it cracked 30, and normally when you crack that whole psychological number, it falls a little bit more. So I might have been a little bit hesitant to buy there. Might have been a little bit late on the entry. So I mean, you know, 30.4 all the way up to, no, I guess that's still a cent to bounce, man. I mean, that's still fine. You take 10,000 shares, that's still $100 right there. So, I mean, that's still a good trade. So, this stock is like printed money, man. I absolutely love it. Very excited to see what it does tomorrow. Honestly, like I've said, people typically sell off before or after the investor calls. I'm not sure if it tanks tomorrow. I'm not sure if it tanks Monday. Maybe there's really good news and it doesn't tank at all. So I'm not sure how to play this one in terms of long-term holds. Hopefully there's some very interesting news tomorrow, but I am going to be looking for more dip buys on this one because it is very predictable for those, and it's a lot easier to read than some of these other stocks that I was trading today. So to give you the example, I told you guys to look today for OBLN for some dip buys on this one, because it was up a ton yesterday, and you know, if it's up that much, typically there's some panics. But this one, it was just really choppy. It was just really choppy, and typically when stocks are this choppy, NASDAQ stocks that have a lot of volume, you want to avoid them for the most part, especially trying to dip buy, because this is just a shorts. It's a shorts dream. You see here, there's not really any clear multiple tons of panics in a row. You know, we get some panics here. There's a couple red candles that are big and super fast. Then there's like a failed little bounce, and then it tanks past that, failed bounce, tank past that, failed bounce, tank past that, failed bounce, tank past that. So I mean, it's just ugly, man. If you get like 10 red candles in a row and it kind of like fades off and starts falling really hard, that's when it's a good dip buy, even on a NASDAQ. But like in this case, it really was just not. So if some of you guys dip bought this and then got cut out, that's what we need to be looking for, because the same thing happened to me on ADTX. So this one, I was a little bit early, man. I mean, I guess I was a little bit late to the play, and because of that, I had the other stock on my mind. I had OBLN from yesterday on my mind, and I was thinking, all right, this could potentially come back down, but then continue running. So I think I ended up getting in here. Maybe it might have been here. I was like early trying to get in on a quick pullback for a continued push, and then it kept falling. And I think I broke my rules a couple times on this one. And what that means is I added when the stock kept going against me on a dip buy. I averaged down, and then it kept tanking past that. I think right here, it looked like it was perking up, so I added some right here, and then it literally just flushed through this, man. Broke down here, triggered all these stop losses. Market makers love doing this, so it's probably a little bit of manipulation, but there's also some shorts involved as well. I mean, right when it breaks through here, just to trigger all those stop losses, man. That's what they do. It breaks down, absolutely rips through when everyone who's selling at $5, everyone who's selling here, if it breaks under here, I'm selling. That triggers at $5 and then just breaks down past that. And I was still holding here. I tried to add some here, I think to average down and try to see a little bit of a bounce to get out break even, but then it just kept fading on me, man. So I ended up cutting in this area. And then I tried to trade it later in the day because I thought it might squeeze. And I missed it here. And then I tried to get in here, and I think it ended up just fading on me. So, shorts dream, when it's this choppy, it's just, there's not much you can do, man. I mean, this is a really big, fast red candle, but it's just scary when you have stocks that have this much volume, 138 million shares at, $5 a share. That's like almost $600 million of volume, and it's just typically too choppy for me to trade. So I just need to know that this is not my specialty. Dip buying OTC stocks is a lot easier, in my opinion, because the price action tends to be a lot cleaner. The bounces tend to be a lot more predictable. You can tell when the action is turning, if that makes sense. You can tell when the momentum shifts. Versus on a stock like this, there's just so much volume. There's so much buying, so much dollar volume that it's pretty much impossible to really get a good grasp of when it's turning. So you can try to go based off of the chart, but it's just, nah. Oh, I guess here, wow. Yeah, that's just another example of previous support can turn into resistance, and previous resistance can turn into support. So you can see here, this was support, and then it cracked, and then it turned into resistance there. I didn't even really notice that, but that's crazy. Yeah, it's another example. So lesson learned, and I will do my best to avoid trading stocks like this. And if I want to get in, because this could have continued to rip, I cannot average down on dip buys like this when the stocks are this choppy and it's a NASDAQ stock. It's just a no-go. Another stock that I know several shorts got wrecked on in the morning was this one. And then I think they made some of it back later on. But I mean, I know some people who were down $250,000 unrealized, I think realized on this, and then they ended up shorting here and getting most of it back. But this one, same thing, man. It was up and then kind of just faded all day long. Today was definitely a heavier market in terms of most of the stocks really weren't having any super big breakout. There weren't any crazy runners like we had, yesterday. That didn't happen. CLSN, pretty much the same looking chart, man. We had a spike at open that absolutely rejected, tons of shorts on there, and then it just faded off all day. And I mean, there's a little bounce here, but how do you play that? There's no real good way to play that. I don't have any great pattern for that. I mean, I guess support, from this area held a little bit, you could say. I mean, right at that, I don't even know, 160 area. So, I mean, it bounced off of there, I guess. I mean, I guess that support held. So, I mean, if you were looking to dip buy, maybe that would have been a decent area to do it. But it kind of cracked under that area. So, I don't know that I could have traded this one well at all. And, I mean, same thing in terms of the dip buys. If I zoom in just so you guys can see a little bit more. A big rip up, hard rejection, tried to bounce, failed, tried to bounce, failed. Tried to bounce a little bit more, failed. Tried to bounce, failed. Tried to bounce, failed. It's very choppy, and it's very tough to trade stocks like this. If you buy stocks like this when they look like that, you're pretty much just gambling. And if you're gambling, you're going to lose money in the long run because there are people who have more money than you and are better at manipulating the stocks than you. So I need to avoid stocks like this in the future, and it's a lesson learned, man. Not too expensive of a lesson in the grand scheme of things, So, yeah, I mean, that's the main takeaway from that one. In terms of what I want to watch tomorrow, OZSC, this one has a lot of great dip buys. This one is an OTC stock. This one is going on some nice runs, lots of volatility. I think there's some decent catalysts. Some people are pretty hyped about this. Energy, electric vehicles, I think that's what it is, if I'm not mistaken. So, this one could potentially benefit from the new presidency. So have it on your watch list. I like this one just because it has really nice panic bounces. This is kind of like a mini TSMP for me. I don't trade it that much, but is it a pink sheet? I'm not positive. I have to double check. This might be one that I can't trade, but if you can trade it, definitely be looking for those. MITI, I'm just going to briefly touch on this. Again, watch my previous video, but I expect some good things out of this, especially after they announce the opening of their first location. Many more to come. Lots of good things coming for this company, and the sky is the limit. I really think this could hit dollars soon. So definitely watch my video on that. ADTX, yeah, that's the one I already talked about today. That I lost money on. To be watching tomorrow, ABML. This is one you definitely want to be looking at. This is an OTC stock, if I'm not mistaken. And it has some nice dip buys you can see in here. OTCs are easier to dip by, in my opinion, but it pretty much held the uptrend nice all day. So I'm very excited to see what this does tomorrow. If it holds the uptrend, we could potentially get some continuation. Definitely a nice pattern there. Volume increasing, so have that on your watch list. You could trade this one. Holding the uptrend, you know, buying on these dips is normally the best way to get in, though. If I go NAOV, you want to have this one on your watch list. It was up a decent amount today, consolidated, and then in after hours, it continued moving and just consolidating higher, so potentially could be moving in the future. This is probably one that has the potential to spike. I mean, if we go here, once it gets some volume, it might be able to test these highs. So if we can get a nice run, this could be a good dip and rip. So be looking for that. And then ADMP, this is the one that is moving the most so far in after hours. Probably the biggest watch in terms of, you know, day trading stocks besides those classic dip buys, because this one ripped up, consolidated, and then went on a massive run, consolidated, and now is running again. I don't know what it's going to look like in pre-market. Definitely don't rush into this one, but if we go to the year chart, it's kind of, where's it, 256. So you can see it's like, it's all the way up here, man. So, I mean, breakout past those levels, could be looking at some good stuff. I mean, overall, the chart is beaten down, but obviously that's not too important if it's from that long ago, again. So I just, this one is high on the watch list. This would probably be another dip and rip type situation. So if we can get some nice highs in pre-market, do a U-shape, and then buy kind of here, waiting for the breakout, if that makes sense. And again, let me do it here. So, I mean, if you get a nice spike up in pre-market, curls down like this, we look to buy here, risking off of the lows, and hoping that it breaks through this highs, because if it does, it typically goes on a nice little run. So the risk to reward is normally pretty good on these. So definitely be watching out for that one. And I mean, the news on this one is Walgreens is adding their products to their savings club, you know, for prescription members. So Walgreens, anytime you get a company that partners with Walgreens, obviously it is a good thing. Might not be as good as the market is making it out to be, but that is enough of a catalyst that this could definitely keep running tomorrow. So have it on your watch list. And yeah, that's pretty much all the stocks that I have for you today. If I missed any, drop them down below in the comment section. I wanted to make this kind of more quick since I spent some more time on the other video doing the research for you guys on MITI. So again, hopefully it helped. Yeah, I guess I'll see you guys in the next one. If you made it to the end, Dankeschön. Got some German for you. If you made it to the end, I got some German for you. All right, that is it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, let's grow better together. Preguntar, bebé, dime por qué te mientes. No puedes esconder todo lo que tú por mí sientes.